So here we're going to say let x equal 0. And now, since x is 0 here, then we don't write it. We just have 2y equals 3. Now, I divide by 2. So y is 3 over 2, which is the same as 1.5. So the y-intercept is 0 and 1.5. Okay, great. Now I'm going to plot those. X-intercept is -3, comma 0. So x is -3. 1, 2, 3, -3 right there. Y is 0, comma 1.5. So if 1 is here, 1.5 is a little bit above. 0, comma 1.5. It's nice if you do. And then, here, I'll put it here. And then I connect the 2 points. It's nice if you do. That way, you have more possibility for partial credit. 0, comma 1.5. She would. Okay? So that's how we would do this one. Okay. Now, let's do one more. It's going to be very, very similar. So let's do one more.
Does it matter which one you start with?
It doesn't matter which one you start with. So let's do this one. Let's find the x-intercept. We say let y equal 0. So it's going to be 0 equals x plus 4. Now what? Minus 4 on both sides. So -4 equals x. That means the x-intercept is -4, comma 0. No, because if this is the x-intercept, then there has to be a number in the x spot and 0 in the y spot. Okay? All right, so now for the y-intercept, we're going to let x equal 0. So it's going to be y equals 4. And sometimes the equation is simple enough that we just get lucky. The first step, we're like, oh, that's the y-intercept. So now I just say y-intercept is 0, comma 4. Okay, let's graph them. Let's graph x-intercept first. So x is -4, y is 0. 1, 2, 3, 4.
How do you know when it's done like that?
Right, when you have y equals a number or x equals a number, then you know you're done. Okay?
Oh wait, so what about like the one on top for x?
The one on top we had 0 equals x plus 4. We still don't have x equals a number.
Oh, okay.
You have to have x equals a number or y equals a number.
Okay.
Yeah. So this is -4, comma 0. And then the y-intercept is x is 0, y is 4. So I connect, and that's how it looks. Okay? Okay, now for the next one, I'm not going to say let x equal 0. I'm just going to say, all right, x-intercept. I know that for this one, we're going to let y equal 0. So it'll be 0 equals half x plus 2. Okay, minus 2 on both sides. So now I have -2 equals half x. Now what do I do? Right? 2 over 1. 2 over 1. That cancels this out. What is it here? This has an over 1. So I multiply the numerators. I get -4 over 1, which is -4. So the x-intercept is going to be -4, comma 0. So now the y-intercept, we're going to do what? What am I going to write for the y-intercept? Y equals 0 plus 2, so it's just 2. Look at that, another one. I'm just finished now. So it's 0, comma 2. 0, comma 2. That's the y-intercept. I know. Okay? Okay. Now, okay. Now we're gonna do this next one together. Later. Okay. So for the x-intercept, y is gonna be 0. So it's 3x equals 24. Divide by 3. Divide by 3. X equals 8. So it's 8, comma 0. I would, because sometimes on the test you get confused and you're rushing and you're stressed and you just want to minimize the confusion. Y-intercept, 4y equals 24, huh? So, no, because that's the y-intercept. Divide by 4, divide by 4.
For the top one, for the x-intercept, what's 0 right there? Where y is 0, right?
Correct. If for this one you wrote x-intercept is 0, 6, that's wrong.
What?
Because this is the y-intercept, right? You have a number in the y spot, x comma y, right? This is the y-intercept, this is the x. This is the y-intercept. This is the x-intercept.
No, but I did that. What? I did that all for the other problem.
But you didn't, right? I understand. But if the number is in the place of the y, that's a y-intercept.
Yeah, but I did that for
But that doesn't mean you did it right.
I did do it. That's what I.
Okay.
Wait, I did it wrong. What?
So this one, x-intercept is 8, comma 0. We didn't get a 4 this time.
Oh no.
And then the y-intercept is 0, comma 6.
Wait, what would we do for page 6?
Okay, so we're not at page 6 right now.
Okay, so the x. Wait.
That's easy.
X intercept is
Are you kidding me? This is easier. This is like does the work for you.
Wait, can I label that?
Huh?
Can I label that?
Right, so this is 8, comma 0 and 0, comma 6. All right, so in the next one, we're going to graph using a different method. Okay, so you can also graph a linear equation in other ways. X-intercept and y-intercept is just one way of graphing a linear equation. What we can also do is we can make a table, right? And we can graph that way. Now, in your table, you have to choose values to substitute for x. And using those, we substitute for y. Or we solve for y. Okay, and then we have to graph the coordinates. So I'm given y equals blah, blah, blah. I make a table and I have x, y, and then the coordinate. Here, I have to choose any values that I want for x. I could choose 153. I could choose negative 274. I could choose 7. I could choose 2. So any number. I like to choose numbers that are easier to work with. 0 is always a very good number. And then, so let's do 2. Let's do 4. And, okay, so we could do 7, except I kind of think ahead a little bit. I have here half times x. Whatever I choose for x, I have to take half of it. I have to divide it by 2. 7 divided by 2 is going to give me a decimal. I would rather have even numbers so that when I divide, I don't get a decimal. So why don't I choose 6? Okay? Now, I'm going to plug x into each of those. So here, y equals half times 0 plus 3. Okay, here, you can use your calculator, or if you don't want to, you could do it mentally. This is 0 plus 3. That equals 3. Okay, now we're going to plug in the next one. We're going to plug in the 2. Okay? Now, when you get 3 here, before we move on, we're going to put it in coordinate form. What is the x value? 0. What is the y value? 3. Okay? Yeah. Correct. Now let's plug in 2. So y equals half times 2 plus 3. Half times 2 is 1. Plus 3 is 4.
Wait, it's 1?
It's, okay, half times 2. So what happens here is, this is 2 over 1. You have to do this. So here we have 2 comma 4. Then I have a 4. So y equals half times 4 plus 3. I cancel. This is a 2 plus 3 is equal to 5.
Wait, what? I'm so I get it, but I just don't have a calculator.
So it's half times 4. I can divide this by 4, or this by 2, and this by 2. So that gives me a 1, and that gives me a 2. You could also put it in your calculator. So make sure tomorrow you have all of you guys have your calculators with you. If you have to graph it. If it says graph by x-intercept and y-intercept, that's how you do it. If it says by choosing values, you have, yes. If you think that's okay with Ms. Kasif, fine. Okay, here, y equals half times 6 plus 3. So, a couple ways to do it. Half of 6 is 3. Or you could put it in your calculator. 3 plus 3 is 6. Now, here I have 6 comma 6. Okay, so we plot these. 0 comma 3. 2 comma 4. 4 comma 5. 6 comma 6. Right, so that's 6 comma 6. This is 0 comma 3. Okay? Yeah.
Oh my god.
Okay.
Looks like a centipede.
So let's do one more.
Wait, can I see the graph? What did you graph? Oh, you did from the smallest to the
Yeah.
biggest.
I just graphed all of them. Now look, this one, it's 2 times x. I'm going to choose values for x again. Because there isn't a half in front of it, because there isn't a half in front of it, you can use any number you want. Now, it doesn't have to be even. So why don't we do 0, 1, 2, 3. So now, it'll be the same. It's up to you. But if you don't like working with negative numbers, don't. So 2 times 0 minus, sorry, hang on.
Such a weird graph.
Here.
On the last one, it's not going on.
Wait,
Never mind.
Okay,
we're making y equals.
hang on, later. Let's do this one first. This graph that we did first, the equation was y equals something. This one isn't in that form. So what we're going to do is first solve for y. Okay? How are we going to do that? Minus 2x minus 2x. So this is negative y equals, hang on, equals 2 minus 2x. No, we're not looking for y-intercept or x-intercept. We're doing it this way. We're going to solve for y.
Oh, it's another way to do it?
Yes. Now, we divide by negative 1. And here, we divide everything by negative 1. So, y equals negative 2 plus 2x. So now this is what I'm going to plug my numbers into. Y equals negative 2 plus 2x. Now, I choose x equals 0, 1, 2, 3. So, when x is 0, y equals negative 2 plus 2 times 0. This is negative 2.
Wait, how did that, where's the negative 1? I can't.
Oh, I get this.
How did this become, into plus?
Because we divided everything by negative 1 to get rid of this negative.
The negative.
Right. Okay, now, here, y equals negative 2 plus 2 times 1. Okay. Now let me finish this problem. Okay, so here I have 0 comma negative 2. Here it's 0, so it's 1 comma 0. Now here I'm going to plug in a 2. So y equals 2 plus 2 times 2. So that's negative 2 plus 2 times 2. So that's 2. 2 comma 2. Yes, Johnny.
How do you solve this again? I'm a little confused.
Here,
Yeah, you
okay.
said that there.
Negative 2 plus 2 times 2 is 4, right? So negative 2 plus 4, that's positive 2. You could also put it in your calculator.
Wait,
So, yeah.
when you're putting in the numbers, you just times.
Guys, stop talking.
What do you times math?
I know. Yeah.
What do you times when you have to find the number equal?
Huh?
When you find the number
Uh-huh.
to put into the x and y,
Uh-huh.
which numbers do you like times into?
So you plug this into everywhere you see an X, right?
Yeah.
So look, now we're going to do 3. I'm going to plug it into this, right? So y equals -2 plus 2 times x. X is 3.
I know we put it in there.
Okay, so now here's how you do it. Here's how you do it. This is -2 plus 2 times 3 is 6. Now, -2 plus 6 is 4. So that's 4. So here that'll be 3 comma 4. So now we have 0, -2, 1 comma 0, 2 comma 2,
You're solving for
3 comma 4.
So you're taking the
Right.
But I have one question.
Okay,
for y.
so